The temptation is to always hope that the problems that our society faces can be solved with one single act, one piece of legislation, if only that were true. The way things change is people change them.
Nonprofits exist because there's one person that sees something wrong and they just want to make it right. Knowing that we could do better than this as a community. Because I want to do something and I know this needs to be done, but how do I get there?
Nonprofits, particularly ones that are relatively new and emerging, have a lot of vulnerabilities. They are somewhat fragile. They need support, and particularly they need support quickly.
A lot of people have great ideas about how to solve issues and problems, but they don't always have the tools to do it. They don't always have a platform or a stage to present their idea from.
So on behalf of Social Venture Partners Charlotte, I'd like to welcome you to the first annual SEED20 Unleashed.
It was a new endeavor for Charlotte. This was sort of groundbreaking in the area of social entrepreneurship.
We were worried when we started this, would there be enough interest in Charlotte? In about 2 or 3 weeks, we had 82 applications.
What's happening here tonight is every bit as important as any economic development announcement we've ever had.
I encounter a lot of new energy. That entrepreneurial energy needs a channel.
Once I began investigating, I was very intrigued and thought it would be great just to be a part of that.
Tiny grub, smaller than my pinky nail.
I came in with very grandiose ideas. I was ready to change Charlotte tomorrow.
It was intimidating. I'm like,
we empower girls, giving them emotional intelligence, helping
I just felt really vulnerable because this was something that was from my heart.
I thought about it every night before that night.
Each nonprofit representative will give their 3-minute pitch.
I've always been very, very shy, and the idea of having about 500 people looking at me for like 3 whole minutes was terrifying. My hands were sweaty and I could feel my heart beating like so fast. I've come this far, I had to do it.
You think of some of the individuals that started never having presented their pitch for more than 3 or 4 people, family and friends. Now they're standing in front of hundreds of people and they have to put it out there and they triumph.
When I left the center today, there were 70 students from 19 different countries. So far, we were only able to serve less than 5%.
75% of what's going into our local landfills is food waste. May I introduce the grub? Yes, grub.
We're the daddies in the daycare, and not just the gym. 2.5 hours a day they play doing dumb things on their smartphones, while at home, talking to their kids less than 4.
It's been a great conduit for opportunity.
3 years ago, we planted a garden in an empty lot behind Friendship Trays, our local Meals on Wheels project.
The very first year of SEED20, one of the winners was Friendship Gardens. We made a $75,000 grant to help support their effort, and now there's this thriving community farm. Another winner that night was Grub to Grub. The fact that they are now going to be partnering with and be on site at that community farm. I mean, who would have thought 5 years ago that these types of connections and collaborations would be happening in our community to serve a greater need? You can really have impact, and that's the beauty of SEED20, is that you never know 5 years down the road what that impact could truly be.
I know that SEED20 is billed as a competition, but what I found was very much a sense of team.
In our case, we didn't win, but I feel like we actually won because these people that are sitting right here that know a thing or two about nonprofits believe what I'm saying, then we have a chance.
It had helped me to believe that story is so important, and I do believe in my story. It's that sense of validation.
That's what SEED20 did for me, to help me realize I'm not the only one. You really can do it, Janine. And you gotta do more, and you gotta do it longer, and you gotta do it better.
Wells Fargo has been a funder of SEED20 from the very beginning. I remember the day that folks from Social Venture Partners came to my office to talk about it, and I was immediately taken by the concept and the opportunity.
I believe the path to lasting social change lies in the transformation of the individual.
What I didn't realize was that it would become what it is today.
And Inspire the Fire, we say, I've got something to say, and you say, well, say it.
You see, market your mind, not your body is the slogan that drives the mission of our fund.
You know someone who has a child with a developmental...
By 2016, we want to reach 100,000 more.
Diversity, integration.
Our bilingual teachers intentionally immersing our students in a literacy-rich environment.
When you look at the scope and scale of the number of people that have just been through the SEED20 process, it's a pretty incredible story.
Thank you.